Alright guys, we are now in our week 5 of quarter 4 on our school year 2020 to 2021. For this week, we are going to tackle about basic concepts of probability, which is the probability, experiment, outcomes, sample space, and events. So let us now proceed to our self-learning module for this week. So our expectation is all about the traits and experiment, outcome, sample space, and event. Finds the probability of a simple event, differentiate dependent and independent events, and find the probability of dependent and independent events. So when we say probability, it is the chance that something will happen. Events cannot be predicted with total certainty. We can say how likely they are to happen. Okay? So what is what we call this, the percentage of being the probability is to happen. So ways of showing probability goes from 0, which is impossible, to 1, which is certain. Okay? So for example, consider a box that contains only red cubes. If you were to select from the box, you are certain to pick a red one. We can say that an event that is certain to happen has a probability of 1. If we were to reach into the same bag of cubes, it is impossible to select a yellow cube, which is an impossible event has a probability of 0. Okay, that is 0. Therefore, it is often shown as decimal or fraction. Okay? So for example, the probability of getting ahead when tossing a coin as a decimal, which is 0.5, or as a fraction as 1/2, and as a percentage of 50%. Okay? That is because a coin has a head and a tail. Okay? Or sometimes like this, 1 in 2. Maybe po ganun. Probability experiment is a chance process that leads to a well-defined result called an outcome. Ito yung tinatawag natin outcome. For example, flipping a coin or rolling a die. So the outcome is the result of a single trial of an experiment. For example, our experiment is to flip a coin. So the outcome could be head or tail. Or rolling a die, the outcome is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 because a die has 6 faces. Then sample space is data or is the set of all possible outcomes or sample points. For example, the sample points, it is just one of the possible outcomes. So for example, experiment here is flipping a coin. So the sample space is HH, HT, TH, or TT, or tail. Okay? So therefore, our sample point is head. Rolling a die, we have six paces or 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then the sample point is 5. Okay, so therefore we have 5 here, or 5, or let's say 1 over 6. Okay, then flipping a coin and a die simultaneously. Pwede tayong H1, H2, H3, H4, up to H6, and then tail. H, it means that is head, then T is, that means that is tail. So tail 1 to tail 6. So the sample point can be T3 or tail 3. So isa lang po yan. So therefore we have 1 is to 12 or 1, 12. Drawing a card from a deck. In a deck of cards we have 52. Okay, that is 13 diamonds, 13 hearts, 13 spades, and 13 clubs. We have the ace up to king. So queen of hearts, so yan, isa lang po yun. So therefore, take note that queen is not a sample point because there are 4 queens, which are 4 different sample points in a deck of cards. Kasi nga, we can have queen of hearts, queen of diamonds, queen of spades, then queen of clubs. Now, when we say an event, it is any set of one or more outcomes satisfying some given conditions. Event is a subset of a sample space. Yun ha, sinasabi na ang event daw ay subset of a sample space. So for example, getting a tail, tail, tail when flipping a coin thrice. Okay? Or choosing a queen from a deck of cards, any of the 4 queens. Another is getting an odd or odd number 135 when rolling a die. So for example, this one. In our activity number 1, choose the basic concepts of probability to identify the following. 5, 6. Is it probability? Probability experiment, outcome, sample space, sample point, or event. So ano po kaya dito? So mamimili po kayo dito sa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So that is 1 to 15. Okay? So bale, na-identify na natin kanina kung ano yung probability, probability experiment, outcome, sample space, sample point, and event. Okay? Then in our activity number 2, you complete me. So, for example, Nadine will go to Tagaytay on a summer vacation. She wants to pack enough items to create different outfits. She packs 1 jacket, 3 shirts, and 2 pairs of skinny jeans. Can Nadine create 6 different outfits from her clothing items? Complete the table below. The first one is done for you. So for outfit number 1, jacket, shirt 1, jeans 1. So from this given items, so up to outfit number 6, you are going to create the clothing item. Okay? And then, this time, let us now proceed to sample event or dependent event. Okay? So, the event is the ratio of number of favorable outcomes over the number of favorable or possible outcomes, or can be number of expected events over the number of possible outcomes. For example, what is the probability of getting a heart from a deck of cards? So, we have 1/4. Kasi ang hearts natin ay 13, then we have 52 cards in a one deck, so that is 1/4. Another one. There are 25 marbles in a container. 4 are red, 5 are blue, 11 are yellow. What is the probability that a blue marble will be picked? Ang ating pong blue marble ay 5. Then all in all, we have 20. So therefore, that is 1/4. Okay? So remember that the probability of an event is represented by a number between 0 and 1. 0 and 1 lang po. When a probability falls in between these numbers, it can be expressed in several ways, as a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. The line between shows the probabilities 0, 1/2, and 1. The positions are also aligned to a description of impossible, unlikely, equally likely, and uncertain. Okay? And of course, dependent events are events in which one event affects the outcome of another. For example, candies in a jar. 2 blue and 3 red candies are in a jar. What are the chances of getting a blue candy? The chance is 2/5. But after taking one out of the chances change. So the next time, if we got a red candy before, then the chance of a blue candy next is 2/4 or 1/2. So if we got a blue candy before, then the chance of a blue candy next is 1/4. Okay? So notice that if we replace the candies in a jar each time, then the chances do not change and the events are independent. With replacement, the events are independent, the chances don't change. So without replacement, the events are dependent and the chances change. Okay? Then example number 2. Drawing 2 queens from a deck. So event A is a drawing queen first, and event B is a drawing a queen second. For the first card, the chance of drawing a queen is 4 out of 52. So there are 4 queens in a deck of 52 cards. So 4 over 52. But after removing a queen from the deck, the probability of a second card drawn is less likely to be a queen. Only 3 of 51 cards left are queen. So therefore, we have 3 over 51. And so, we have 4 over 52 times 3 over 51. So therefore, we have 12 over 2,652 or 1 over 221. So the chance of getting 2 queens is 1 in 221, or that is 0.5%. So therefore, in number 2, the probability of getting heads up for the first toss does not affect the probability of getting tails for the second toss. The two events do not affect each other. They are independent events. Okay? So, yun naman po yung ating tinatawag na independent events. So, the two events which do not affect to each other. So, for example, tossing a 5 peso coin. Each toss of a coin is a perfect isolated thing. So what it did in the past will not affect the current toss. So the chance is simply 1/2 or 1 into 0.5 or 50%. Just like any toss of a coin, so each toss is an independent event. Okay? So here is our activity number 3. Place Me Baby. So from this event, so i-place nyo dito sa ating parang number line or probability scale. So that is up to letter G. And then for activity number 4, dependent or independent event. You are going to determine if this event is independent or dependent events. Okay? So, thank you. So, hoping sana nakatulong itong ating mamunting video para masagutan ninyo itong ating week 5 to 6 na ating lesson here in quarter 4. So, thank you very much and happy learning.